Hello, and welcome to our first webisode of Alana and Dustin, where we chat about Star Wars, and we're going to be chatting about the plot to Episode 7, The Force Awakens. So I'll pass you over to my colleague Alana. What do we know about the plot so far?
Before we start, just to say I'm not a Star Wars expert, so if I make a mistake, don't judge me. Okay, what we know so far.
In the comments below.
What we know so far. So we've had 2 trailers, a tiny snippet trailer, some interviews, and then a behind the scenes video. Yep. Trailer 1 starts with Finn sweaty in the desert with a stormtrooper outfit on. Then you see the cool robot with the orange and the white going through. Stormtroopers have a new outfit. They're all in line, looks good. Then we see Rey. She's on a bikey speed bike thing.
Speeder, I just call it, yeah.
Oscar Isaac is in a new X-Wing and he's zooming through. And then we see probably the most interesting part. Kylo Ren is in a snowy forest with a cool new lightsaber. Cool or horrible? People have opinions. I don't.
Yeah, when that first came out, we weren't sure if that was Kylo Ren, but it has been confirmed by J.J. Abrams that that is Kylo Ren.
And then finally, you see the Millennium Falcon flying through the sky. And that's all Trailer 1 gives us. It is not very informative. Well, it's a nice start.
It's a teaser trailer.
Yeah. And in the background, you can hear... Who's talking?
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis saying there has been an awakening. Can you feel it? Or something like that.
Yeah, for light and dark.
Yes.
Also, there's only a couple characters left, which we don't know what they look like yet, and Andy Serkis is one of them. So there's a big mystery around him. He's playing the role of Supreme Leader Snoke, or Snoke.
I think Snoke.
Snoke, fair enough.
Okay, then we saw trailer 2, and that starts off with Darth Vader's burnt mask. Not looking too good, but obviously still being cherished or held or around. You see a hand, probably Luke's, I think, or almost definitely Luke's, black, so it's a new hand, black metal, giving something to R2-D2.
I think he's just putting his hand on R2-D2.
Just chatting to R2, his friend.
Yes, so it's the same hand which Luke lost in the confrontation against Darth Vader in Episode 5, but is definitely different to that hand. So whether he's had it upgraded or lost it again, we don't know. Or maybe it's not even him.
We also see Oscar Isaacs again.
Yep.
We see what we think is Leia's hand, giving it to another woman, maybe Rey, the new female protagonist. Maybe, we don't know.
What is that, the lightsaber?
Yeah.
No, it's a tiny little hand.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a tiny little hand handing it to who we presume is Princess Leia.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We think it's one of the pirates that we'll chat about shortly.
Okay. Oscar Isaacs being arrested or being escorted by stormtroopers?
Yep, that's in the behind the scenes trailer.
We see more of Daisy and Finn running.
Yep.
In hot places. There's
being
fire.
pursued by stormtroopers.
We see a TIE fighter. We see Finn with his stormtrooper mask off again.
Yep. This time, presumably on a Star Destroyer or a ship.
We see Captain Phasma.
Yep, looking super cool. Chrome Trooper.
And then we see Han Solo and Chewbacca, and Han says, "Chewie, we're home."
Yep.
And that's that. That's that whole
And we're
trailer.
pretty damn sure they're on the Millennium Falcon, which was a bit banged up inside, but it has been 30 years since we last saw it. I think, yeah, the only other thing to take from that trailer was that the TIE fighter was firing upon stormtroopers. So it's either a double cross or they're escaping. We're not quite sure.
Trailer 3, I'm going to just show the trailers first, is super short. And the only thing it really adds is that you see Finn with a lightsaber, also in a snowy forest.
Yeah.
He's not fighting Kylo Ren.
Not from Kylo Ren has no one in front of him, so unless Finn's standing behind him. Yeah.
Oh, maybe, yeah, an ambush from behind.
Maybe, but
no.
Kylo, if he's force trained, would sense that coming.
Yeah, or just had some force. So that's pretty much all that was added from that extra tiny trailer. We also have interviews and the behind the scenes thing. The behind the scenes doesn't really tell us much more, does it?
The main thing you see is that Oscar Isaac is being imprisoned or captured by a stormtrooper.
And you see Daisy with Han Solo.
Yep.
In the
Millennium
Falcon. So that's pretty much all there is.
Yeah, actually, you see a few more of the pirates, which looks like going to be playing a fairly large part. And I think they're maybe the ones that have access to the lightsaber. Well, fail to mention the important thing about the lightsaber is that has been confirmed. It looked like it. It's definitely Luke Skywalker's and therefore Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber, which Luke Skywalker lost in the battle of Bespin versus Darth Vader. When he loses his hand, it falls down the giant garbage chute.
And so that's all we know from the trailers. There's also been interviews, which Dustin can tell you about because I've not read them.
So there's been a couple of interviews, Vanity Fair and Empire Magazine, and JJ has said that Kylo Ren would see himself as the protagonist of the movie, and so it very much matches the characteristic of Saw. He's crusading for a cause, and he's probably willing to do anything to achieve that cause. And he also said that his name, Kylo Ren, has been given to him. So that is not his real name. And Ren is a title. He's a Knight of Ren. And he's a Knight of Ren who appears to be working for the First Order, which we're not 100% sure could be the new incarnation of the Empire. Could be something separate to the Empire or within the Empire. Or the Empire might just be gone altogether. And the First Order came up in chats where they were talking about after World War II. Some Nazis were able to flee to Argentina and set up little colonies in Argentina, and the idea came for the First Order from whether what would happen if these colonies started to then bear influence again on the country, and the country and the colonies started working together. Other than that, they said that Supreme Leader Snoke is in direct command of Kylo Ren. So that's all the information we have so far. What do you think the plot is, Alana?
What do I think the plot is? I think it's going to be a journey of discovery for Finn and Daisy. Something to do with the Force Awakening. That's the title. I think it's quite key. From the trailers, they've said there's been a disturbance in the Force and then things happen. I think the Force is going to maybe come alight. Maybe Kylo Ren sets something off. Something sets it off. And I think people who feel the Force are going to feel something else. It's going to change their course. They're going to be trying to, Finn and Daisy this is, et al, are going to be trying to get rid of Kylo Ren's crew. I mean, it's so hard to tell. The Kylo Ren and Finn part in the forest, although they aren't actually facing each other, to me sort of implies that's going to be the fight.
They're definitely in the vicinity of each other, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're after something, and they're all after something in the forest. But I think it's safe to say there's just not much we can tell from the plot so far.
Really not. No.
They've kept it under wraps, top secret. People not allowed to take things away. There's been a few leaks here and there by people working on the set. None of the actors have said a word, so they've obviously got some very tight contracts and what would you say it's called when you
non-disclosure
agreements around the plot. And we're into August now, so only a few months away from the release. Thank you for listening. Continued in part 2.